I have some freshly surfaced transgender, non-binary, gender bender, trender cringe for you guys. Um, and you might be wondering, why do you care so much about what the LGBT community is doing? Um, Good question. I actually remember the time when gay people could get married. And that was like this great right and a human right that everybody could have, regardless of the gender or sex or whatever they're attracted to. And I thought that was great. But like most social movements, they don't just quit when they're ahead. I don't know exactly what they want. Total domination, changing culture, changing language, just the activists of that area. I'm not talking about like normal transgender people who, maybe they work at Burger King and they do some prostitution on the side and they're, minding their own business. I'm not talking about those everyday, people, but I mean, these social media celebrities that the only thing that they talk about on their channel is transgender issues. Um, and it gets kind of, it gets kind of extreme. So, I'm actually taking this this wokest gender sexuality class. I thought I was done with college, but I dropped out for a few years and came back, and they added new classes that hadn't existed. So I'm just in the habit of making name tags that have my name and my pronouns on it. So just so that you guys know, my preferred pronouns are she, her majesty. Um, and if you don't use them when you're referring to me, it's actually an act of violence. And that makes you problematic because if you don't use my preferred pronouns, it's like a personal insult. It's worse than an insult. You're basically invalidating my status as human being if you don't say like her majesty, and I'll give you an example of a sentence that uses that. Like, I yearn for her majesty's approval, referring to me, Rachel McRage. um, if my camera angle were different, I definitely have this on my desk for you guys to see, but it's not, so whatever. In our first video, we're just gonna. I've been cataloging this for a while. It's it's truly great to watch culture change before your eyes, and I think that now that we have the internet and we have like youth growing up with the internet, it just can change so quickly, and they'll just be notified, and they're in their own little orbs of reality, And with these non-binaries, that wasn't really a thing until recently. I'm sure that there's some androgynous people that, their gender is kind of ambiguous, and I feel badly for them, and, they should be able to identify as that, but this is just too trendy, which brings us to this video, this YouTube short. Can non-binary people see Muslim women without a hijab? And it's such a clash because let me just play it. Oh my god.
Hi there, great question. And the answer is really as simple as it is based on the sex that you were assigned at birth. If you were assigned the sex of a male, then the woman will keep her hijab on in front of you. But if the sex assigned was female, then the woman may take off the hijab, but some don't because some women don't feel comfortable around females either. So this is only and only according to Islam. Islam does not recognize gender identities. What matters is the assigned sex at birth. So if you're a man, you're a man. If you were assigned a female, you are a female. And the rules of hijab will apply according to that. Great question. Okay, bye.
So the thing is, in this hyper woke culture, Muslims are untouchable. You can say whatever you want about Christians, Maybe not so much Jews because we did have the Holocaust a while ago. I mean, uh, but you know, Christians can take a beating, but Muslims, I think it's just like this hatred for white people and Judeo-Christian ideology, and like if they're not white, or if they're not like white like I am, then you have to protect them and coddle them and kind of just like be polite or whatever, because I'm reading the comments and they're all like polite. They're bowing down to Islam, and even though this lady is, fully garbed and, can't see anything but her eyes, and she was very politely kind of saying that no, Islam doesn't agree with non-binary ideology and gender ideology, and why would it? It's a new thing. Yeah, it's existed, sure, in different cultures and different peoples, but it's never been like the main culture, It's always been fringe. And oh my gosh. So the first comment says, "That's fair. As a non-binary person, I understand that while my gender identity is important, so important, maybe important to you, let's be honest, like, no one else really cares, Like, tomorrow I could wear cat ears and identify as a cat, and most of my subscribers would be like, what's this weird anime fetish stuff, but I'll watch her anyway, I guess. Like, really, people really don't care how you identify. Okay. As a non-binary person, I understand that while my gender identity is important, so is Islam and his job rules, because it is important to a lot of people. So yeah, it stings a little bit." Such a long post. "But it's not just about one person. Thank you for sharing details about your religion in such a positive way. Thank you." And then it's have a bunch of edits and everything like that. How much you want to bet that this person is only like 16? I mean, yeah, most people use the internet heavily, or like teenagers, but I mean, oh my gosh. Islam is important. Religion is important. And these are the same people who are like, abortion, 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 and I don't know how that became a religious issue. There's nothing in the Bible that says you can't get abortions. I mean, you're still. And then edit. My "it stings" comment was just made. My "it stings" comment was just made. It passing. It passing. You're supposed to say "in passing." Maybe it's a typo. Because I have to make compromises about my identity, and it makes me feel less like myself. What do I know? I'm just a cis female who is pretty comfortable with her identity. I mean, I'm not. I don't know what this person looks like, It could be a female that's like not as feminine looking, if you know what I mean, without sounding too rude, but I understand it was selfish and poorly worded. I think we have like a converted. I think this person's like converting to Islam, like, and it's crazy because not to say like any anti-Muslim comments or anything, but um they don't care. Like, in certain Muslim countries, they're still like stoning gay people to death, And not that I would equate that with all Muslim beliefs, but they're still like, it's different over there, you know? Like, you these woke people, they want to force everybody who's not a white Anglo-Saxon into some heterosexual white Anglo-Saxon. They want to force everybody into like a group against white straight people, even if they don't care necessarily. I don't think that Muslims are like, Yeah, but what about the non-binaries? Do they like me? You know, like they don't care. Oh my gosh. And the second comment says, y'all would switch up so quick if it was a Christian saying this. And oh my god, I kinda. Yeah, they called Christians Nazis. And I'm not Christian. I think that's kind of the idea of sitting in church for hours is kind of gross to me, you know. Um, but they'll just like they'll apologize to ISIS too. Like they kind of like ISIS because the far left and all this gender bendy kind of woo, like they legitimately want to like tear down everything that is America. And yeah, why wouldn't they like Antifa and ISIS and just all of those radical groups, whether they're Muslim or not? But if they are Muslim, even better if they're not like a white Anglo-Saxon. So it's this fucking dog barking in the background. I don't even know. I can't. What am I supposed to do? Murder my roommate's dog? Like, that wouldn't be cool. I would get kicked out, you know? Damn it. Okay. The response is, to, the Christian one is, I think it's because in Western countries, Christians have such a direct and harmful impact on LGBT people's lives. However, I believe they should always be respectful to someone, no matter what their blah 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 or religion or sexuality. Yeah, because you're not in a Muslim country getting stoned to death and getting your genitals mutilated just because you're female, you know? And not all countries do that. I mean, some are more batshit insane about that than others, you know? But it's like, not all Muslims are extremists, but a lot of extremists are Muslims. And they're just kissing their ass. I mean, no, not to say anything about this lady. I think she's sweet and she's doing her own thing and stuff. Like, that's not like an activist or anything. But oh my gosh. Oh, look. And someone says, yes, of course I know it's horrifying. What I'm saying is that people in Western countries do not live under Islamic laws. So they have not been directly impacted by those laws. In Western countries, Muslim people are a minority, whereas Christians are a majority. Christians are often about powerful positions. Yep, yeah. I just think it's hilarious, you know? Like, yeah, I wonder what this really strict, you know, religious group thinks about non-binaries. Uh, let's go. Let's move on.